It's pretty hard to miss all the talk about AI these days, isn't it? Especially if you're, thinking about your future, your studies, your career.
Oh, definitely. It feels like every day there's something new, some big change. It can feel a bit like trying to hit a moving target.
Exactly. But that's really why we're doing this deep dive. You hear someone like Sundar Pichai at Google saying AI is like a bigger deal than the internet or smartphones.
Right, and McKinsey comparing it to the steam engine. I mean, those are huge comparisons.
Huge. So the mission here is to unpack what all this actually means for you, the listener. We want to cut through that noise.
Yeah, drawing on sources like the AI Future, Student
Mm.
Success Guide, and others. Think of this as getting the key insights tailored for you.
Your personal briefing, exactly. We'll look at what tech leaders are saying, how the job market's shifting, the skills you'll need.
And those new career opportunities opening up. It's about getting you informed and hopefully feeling more prepared.
All right, so let's dive in. Section 1, the dawn of this AI era. It feels like this massive wave, right? Huge potential, but also, let's be real, pretty disruptive too.
Absolutely. And you get a real sense of that duality from the leaders. Take Jensen Huang at NVIDIA.
Oh, yeah. He's quite vocal. He strongly recommends every student get an AI tutor, like right now.
He does. He even mentions using Perplexity himself. But what's really interesting is his view of AI as an augmenter.
Augmenter, how so?
He talks about AI making us superhuman,
Yeah.
helping us learn, code, analyze, think better. It's not about replacement in his view. It's about amplification, a powerful assistant.
Okay, that's a pretty optimistic take.
It is, especially when you contrast it with, say, that a Gallup survey showing, was it 75% of Americans worried about job losses?
Right. And McKinsey projecting nearly half of work activities could be automated by 2030. There's definitely a tension there.
A big tension, and you see it clearly with AI tutors in education. On one hand, you've got this amazing potential for personalized learning, democratizing access.
Making high-quality learning available to way more people.
Exactly. But then, does it stifle independent problem solving? If the AI explains everything perfectly, do you still wrestle with the concepts yourself?
That's a fair point. What about just figuring things out the hard way? Or those classroom discussions?
And what does it mean for teachers? If every student has a super tutor,
Yeah, what's the teacher's role then?
well, maybe it shifts even more towards the uniquely human parts, fostering critical thinking, curiosity, debate, mentorship, those social-emotional skills.
Guiding students on how to use the AI tools effectively.
Precisely. More of a facilitator, a coach, leveraging the tech, but really focusing on developing those irreplaceable human capacities. The human touch becomes even more valuable.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, Satya Nadella at Microsoft, he brings a slightly different angle, right? Balancing the new with the existing.
Yeah, and Nadella's perspective is quite practical. He stresses balancing those frontier things, the big breakthroughs, with actually optimizing the systems we already use, getting the most out of current tech.
So not just chasing the shiny new object all the time.
Right. And he really encourages young people to, as he puts it, sample the best, be proactive, seek out ambitious opportunities, engage with the leading edge. Don't just wait.
Get involved, basically.
Yeah, and be perpetually ready for what's coming next. That means continuous learning, adaptability. It's a constant state of readiness.
Well, definitely circle back to that adaptability piece. It seems critical.
It really is. He also points out that AI's true value often emerges with those killer applications, like email or spreadsheets were back in the day. He sees AI agents automating routine tasks, freeing up workers.
Which, as he notes, makes AI more accessible, but also creates this innovation imperative.
Exactly. If everyone has the tools, the edge comes from how you use them. Applying them creatively, strategically, it demands continuous upskilling and thinking across different disciplines.
So it's not just about using the tool, but innovating with the tool.
That's the core of it. How do you leverage it in a unique way?
Okay, let's shift to Sundar Pichai and Google. His take feels almost elemental. He calls AI the most profound shift of our lifetimes.
Yeah, bigger than personal computing, mobile tech, even the internet, and how it democratizes intelligence. That's a huge statement.
It really is. He sees it becoming a natural extension of human capability.
Augmenting our abilities, bridging gaps in expertise. His analogy is powerful, comparing AI to fundamental forces like electricity or fire, something that will just permeate everything.
Wow, electricity or fire, that
Yeah.
puts it on a whole different level.
And like Huang, he's generally optimistic, seeing it as an empowering force that can level the playing field globally, opening up learning, creation, problem solving.
Okay, so lots of potential highlighted there. Now, Ray Kurzweil, he brings in maybe a more cautionary note, the dual use aspect.
Kurzweil definitely pushes us to think longer term and about the deeper implications. Yes, the dual-use nature, like drones delivering medicine versus explosives, same tech, different outcomes.
Mhm.
And he predicts this increasingly deep human-AI integration, non-biological components entering our decision-making by the 2030s, maybe even dominating our thinking later on.
Whoa, that's a lot to process. It really blurs the lines.
It does. And because of that trajectory, he argues our focus has to shift. Less about keeping humans and AI separate, more about ensuring AI safety and alignment with our well-being as it gets woven into our lives.
So building guardrails, essentially.
Building guardrails, ensuring broad distribution of AI's power. He's cautiously optimistic it can help solve big global problems, but the safety and ethical alignment are paramount.
Which points to the need for anticipatory ethics, as the guide mentions, thinking about these issues before they become huge problems.
Exactly, and integrating AI ethics right into education from the start.
Okay, so these perspectives set the stage really well. Powerful tech, huge potential, but definite challenges and ethical questions we need to tackle. Now, section 2, AI and the world of work. This is where it gets very real for people planning their futures.
Absolutely. We're talking about a fundamental shift. Automation, yes, but also augmentation of existing jobs and entirely new roles being created.
And the big organizations, World Economic Forum, McKinsey, they're putting numbers on this, right?
They are. WEEF predicts like 44% of core skills being disrupted soon, millions of jobs displaced by 2027, but also millions of new roles created. Though there's a projected net displacement overall, clerical administrative roles seem particularly vulnerable.
And their later report emphasizes tech and AI as the biggest drivers, potentially creating even more jobs, but also displacing millions. A shift towards tasks being split more evenly between humans, tech, and collaboration.
And McKinsey echoes that. Nearly half of current work potentially automatable by 2030. Huge productivity gains trillions of dollars, but also potentially displacing hundreds of millions globally, though they also see growth in STEM, healthcare, and new opportunities emerging.
It's that dual picture again. Decline in office support, production, some customer service, growth elsewhere.
And Burning Glass, now Lightcast and SHRM, they point out Gen AI is hitting high-skilled work too, mainly through augmentation right now.
Yeah.
But they add a crucial caveat.
Which is?
If the economy doesn't grow fast enough to absorb the productivity gains, we could see actual workforce reductions. If fewer people can do more work, well, companies might not need as many people.
That's a sobering thought. And that Lightcast stat about the surge in demand for Gen AI skills, nearly fourfold in 2024. Things are moving fast.
Incredibly fast. And you see specifics from the Bureau of Labor Statistics too. Declines projected for roles easily mimicked by AI, like claims adjusters, medical transcriptionists.
But big growth in AI-related fields, software developers, financial advisors, benefiting from AI tools.
It all points to this massive challenge, the great reskilling. It's not just on you as an individual. We need coordinated action on governments, education industry working together. New educational models are definitely needed.
Collaboration seems key. Universities working with businesses to make sure training is actually relevant and accessible. And societal support for those whose jobs change dramatically.
Absolutely. The scale demands it. Now, Sam Altman at OpenAI, he's pretty direct about the future of jobs.
Yeah, he doesn't mince words, does he? He suggests most traditional roles are vulnerable. Customer care, data input, content writing, even creating applications.
He's very clear on the disruptive side.
Oh.
But crucially, he also emphasizes that new roles are emerging, specifically requiring AI skills. Prompt engineering, AI model development, data analysis focused on AI outputs.
So his advice is basically, get your hands dirty with AI now.
Exactly. Experiment with ChatGPT, Midjourney, AutoGPT. Understand what they can do. He sees AI boosting productivity, citing companies where AI handles over half the coding tasks. Job displacement will happen, he thinks, but maybe gradually. The key is to get skilled up.
Okay. And Kai-Fu Lee, he has similar predictions, right? Maybe even more dramatic on the timeline.
Lee predicts potentially up to 50% job displacement by 2027, hitting white-collar roles hard. His advice mirrors Altman's. Embrace AI tools like you embraced Word or Photoshop. Use them for productivity.
Future evaluations based on results, not the tools used. That's interesting.
Right. He gives examples across the board: language processing, image generation, self-driving cars, customer service, data analysis, all cognitive tasks AI is tackling.
And his solution?
Retraining and lifelong learning are critical. He envisions human-AI coexistence. AI handles routine stuff. Humans focus on creativity, compassion, complex strategy. Differentiation comes from those uniquely human skills.
Creativity and compassion, that's a recurring theme. But he also raises that tricky point about productivity versus jobless growth.
Yeah, the paradox. If AI makes us super productive, do we end up needing fewer workers overall? What does that mean for wealth concentration? Social safety nets like UBI. High national AI productivity doesn't guarantee your job is safe.
Which brings us to that idea of the augmentation threshold. AI helps you now, but could it eventually replace you entirely?
It's a real possibility for many roles. Augmentation might just be a step towards eventual replacement as the AI gets better, which means your career strategy needs to focus on resilience.
Resilience how?
Focusing on roles, needing complex judgment, strategic oversight of the AI, deep human interaction, managing the AI systems themselves, and developing those meta skills. Learning how to learn, adapting to new tools constantly, applying AI strategically.
So it's less about specific tasks, more about adaptability and higher level thinking.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got the context, the job market shifts. Section 3 drills down into the essential skills toolkit you need. And it's a blend, right? Technical and human.
Right, not just one or the other. Our guide splits them, mastering the machines and the irreplaceable human element. Let's start with machines.
Okay, foundational. Just basic AI proficiency. Practical ability to use AI tools in your work. That's what WEF highlights, and it ties back to Altman's advice. Experiment, get comfortable.
Makes sense. Then coding. Andrew Ng argues pretty strongly for this, doesn't he?
He calls advising against learning to code the worst career advice ever, even with AI assistance helping. Understanding code helps you leverage those tools better, opens doors, even in non-tech roles. It's becoming a kind of universal language.
And data literacy seems like a no-brainer, given how AI runs on data.
Absolutely. Understanding, interpreting, analyzing, critically evaluating data, crucial. WEF puts AI-driven data analysis in its top 3 fastest-growing skills.
And cybersecurity. In a world connected by AI, securing it all is vital.
Definitely. Networking and cybersecurity are listed as essential skills by WEF too. It's foundational in this interconnected environment.
Okay, now the other side. The irreplaceable human element. What tops that list?
Critical thinking and problem solving. Being able to rigorously evaluate information, especially AI outputs. Spotting biases, limitations. HBR even suggests analyzing complex problems without AI first to strengthen that muscle.
Interesting. Don't just jump to the AI solution immediately.
Right. And creativity. Generating novel ideas, thinking unconventionally. Kai-Fu Lee's point again. AI as a tool to augment creativity, not replace it.
Then emotional intelligence and social influence.
Hugely important. Building relationships, understanding nuances, influencing people, managing stakeholders. Lee talks about high compassion jobs, being resilient. These skills are key there.
And adaptability, resilience. We keep coming back to that.
Because change is the only constant. Flexibility, curiosity, bouncing back from setbacks, essential. And finally, ethical reasoning. Understanding AI ethics, bias, privacy, responsible use. It's not optional.
Our guide lays these out clearly, doesn't it? Technical skills, human skills, that WEF new skills triad.
Right. The triad includes AI proficiency, which we discussed, but also carbon intelligence, sustainability awareness in the digital age, and virtual intelligence mastering digital collaboration, plus that adaptive mindset piece.
And it's moving beyond just using AI to collaborating with it, right?
Right.
Prompting effectively, evaluating critically, refining iteratively.
That's a core skill in itself.
Yeah.
Effective partnership with AI. And that carbon intelligence point is important thinking about the environmental footprint as we adopt more AI.
So these soft skills, critical thinking, creativity, EQ, ethics, they're really becoming hard requirements now.
They absolutely are. And education needs to reflect that. Project-based learning, collaboration, ethics debates, experiential learning ways to actively cultivate these skills. They're the differentiators.
And the final piece here is that commitment to growth. Lifelong learning isn't just a buzzword anymore.
It's a fundamental requirement. LinkedIn's data is stark. 70% of job skills changing by 2030, huge jump in people adding skills. McKinsey emphasizes retraining boot camps, prompt engineering courses. WEF says most employers are prioritizing it, and a majority of workers will need significant training.
So learning is continuous. It doesn't stop.
Never stops. Agility is the name of the game.
Okay, we have the shifts, the jobs, the skills. Section 4 gets really practical. Charting your path. High-impact careers, learning strategies, what jobs are really in demand.
Well, the guide breaks down quite a few. Core technical roles are booming. AI and machine learning engineers, data scientists, AI research scientists, AI architects, prompt engineers.
And the salaries reflect that demand, right? Significant earning potential there.
Definitely. Plus roles like robotics, AI engineers, computer vision engineers, NLP engineers, deep learning specialists. The list of core technical roles, it's long and growing.
But it's not just the hardcore tech roles.
No, not at all. Strategic and ethical roles are emerging fast. AI product managers bridging tech and business, and AI ethicists, ethics officers, AI governance specialists ensuring responsible AI. These are becoming critical.
And AI is filtering into specific industries, too.
Everywhere. Healthcare AI is growing rapidly. Finance is seeing huge demand for AI talent. Cybersecurity has a talent shortage in AI skills. Even sustainability. The green transition needs AI expertise.
The guide has that useful table summarizing these roles, skills, salaries, growth. Really helpful for seeing the landscape.
It does. And it mentions those AI translator or AI liaison roles too. People who can bridge the gap between the techies and everyone else.
That sounds like a great path for someone interested in AI but maybe not wanting to be a deep coder. The AI plus X idea.
Exactly. Combine AI knowledge with expertise in another field, law, medicine, art, whatever. That combination is incredibly valuable.
So how do you prepare for these roles? What are the effective learning pathways now? AI tutors come up again.
They do. Huang's advocacy in predicting they might surpass human teachers for certain things within a decade, potentially changing university teaching, though research stays. MIT's developing tools like SciEye, NeuroChat. The vision is AI coach bots, personalized support.
But it's not just about passive learning from an AI, is it? It's about doing.
Absolutely. Altman's push for hands-on experience, build things, chatbots, AI art, whatever. Andrew N. emphasizes rapid prototyping, building a portfolio. The mantra is shifting.
I'm learning for learning's sake, too.
If you didn't build it, it doesn't count. That's the quote in the guide. Your portfolio of proof tangible projects, real-world applications, often speaks louder than just a degree now. Internships, AI mentors are key.
So universities are evolving, too. Their role is changing.
They're focusing more on human-centered AI, ethics, cutting-edge research. Think Stanford's AI plus Education Summit, MIT's initiatives. Hampton still sees universities as vital for research and academic apprenticeship. They need to integrate AI thoughtfully, address its limits, explore the legal and ethical angles.
Ethical AI development is becoming a baseline expectation, it seems.
It has to be, for everyone involved.
And finally, this section touches on AI in recruitment. How's that changing things?
Well, AI is screening resumes, so keywords matter. But the advice is clear.
Huh.
Don't let AI write your whole application. Use it to refine, maybe, but keep your authentic voice.
And be ready for AI-powered interviews.
Yeah, early stages might involve recorded responses reviewed by AI. Knowing common AI screening questions and practicing that format is becoming important. You need to understand how AI is used throughout the career journey.
Okay, tons of practical stuff there. So Section 5 brings it all together. Thriving with AI. Practical strategies for you, the student. It's about mindset as much as skills.
Exactly. Strategy 1. AI is your co-pilot. Use the tools, like Huang and Altman advise. Enhance learning, boost productivity. Ang talks about AI coding assistance, agentic workflows.
But be the pilot, right. HBR warns against letting AI replace judgment. Use it for well-defined problems, scenario building maybe, but you make the calls.
Be the human pilot. Active direction, critical judgment, taking responsibility. Cultivate that discerning ability, intellectual humility, strong evaluation skills.
Strategy 2. Think critically. Don't just accept the AI's output.
Right. HBR says analyze complex problems without AI first. Challenge the AI's reasoning. Verify its output. Nadella stresses understanding bias, developing intuition for errors, knowing when to check the AI's work.
Because it's not infallible. It has limitations, biases from training data.
You have to be aware of that constantly. Strategy 3, ethical engagement.
Collaborate ethically, effectively, sustainably, as WEF puts it.
Yes. Think data privacy, algorithmic bias. Stanford Summit raised privacy concerns in educational AI, the need to mitigate bias. Kurzweil's call for safety and alignment. Ang's advice, move fast and be responsible.
Explore the legal side too. IP, liability, data ownership. Basic AI ethics is becoming foundational literacy.
It needs to be woven into all education. And the final strategy, build mental agility.
That adaptability piece again. Nadella.
Yeah.
Be ready for what's next. Continuous learning.
SI and WEF, they all list resilience, flexibility, adaptability, agility, curiosity, lifelong learning as top skills. Stanford's moat emphasizes navigating the unknown, pivoting.
So mental agility, learning, unlearning, relearning, embracing ambiguity is more critical than static skills.
Absolutely. Resilience is the bedrock. Education needs to foster metacognitive and emotional strengths, interdisciplinary learning, tackling complex problems, growth mindset, mental well-being support. Mental agility is the core operating system.
Okay, so conclusion time, section 6. Your blueprint for success. It's a transformation, opportunities, challenges. Success depends on informed choices, skills, mindset.
That's the summary. We've heard key advice. Kwong on AI tutors, Nadella on proactive learning, Altman on hands-on AI, Ng on coding, Pichai on democratization, Kurzweil on ethics, Lee on human skills and retraining.
It boils down to that hybrid skill set, tech, AI, plus human capabilities, the WEF's new skills triad, and that portfolio of proof.
And the core message is, engage proactively, don't just react. Cultivate curiosity, lifelong learning, resilience. See AI as a landscape of possibility.
Remember the links between tech skills, ethical understanding, and human connection.
And the call to action is simple. Start now. Start learning. Start building. Start engaging critically and ethically with AI today. The potential is huge for those who are prepared.
Definitely. It leaves you with a lot to think about. Here's a final thought. As AI gets better and better at understanding us, how does our understanding of ourselves need to change in response?
That's deep.
And if AI handles more tasks, what does meaningful contribution even look like in the future? How do you position yourself to make that contribution? Something to chew on.
Definitely food for thought.
Well, hopefully this deep dive has given you some clarity, some tools, and the confidence to navigate this AI future. Thanks so much for tuning in.